Hello, Think Natalia community. Today, I am super pumped and excited to introduce you to a lady that I had the honor of working with. She is high energy. She's funny, she's smart, she's authentic, and she's just annoyed about the way how a lot of scientists talk about themselves and how they basically move into their careers. She's like, God, I need to change it. So I was very, very happy that I was allowed to help her a little bit on her path and to show her or to together brainstorm, find a way how we can use LinkedIn to get her to the next level and help more people. So Amani, thank you so much for being here today.
Natalia, it is my huge pleasure. I mean, people cannot see what's happening underneath this table, but I'm like a little kid. Like, I'm excited to be here. Really, really, really happy to share my story with you and everybody who's listening to us.
Fantastic. So let's start with that. Amani, what's your story?
Ooh, okay.
Short version. Easy one.
Short version, because you said it's like 20-minute interview, not 4 hours, right? Okay, but short version, I want to share what I'm all about and what I do. So as a result of my work as a career coach and trainer, that's what I do. But I've chosen to work with scientists. Why? Because I want to help scientists gain clarity when it comes to their careers. I've been there, after my PhD, totally confused. I know you have a PhD too, right? So it can feel overwhelming, that transition. But also to gain that confidence and energy boost, because as scientists, we also get used to failing over and over and over. And at some point, 3-4 years with this constant failing, you sometimes lose your confidence, right? And the motivation. So those are the two things. And then finally, I want to teach them all the necessary tools they need to go out there and create a dream career, not just a job. Because sometimes after working so hard on our PhD, we give up and we say like, you know what? I'm grateful if I just get a job after this. Just give me a job that's safe. And I want to give people back that confidence, that motivation and self-belief to go after a dream career, not just a job.
Mm-hmm. Which is so important. I can so relate. I mean, when you write a thesis for such a long time and you have to write in a specific way. And in the end, in the majority of cases, you write it for your professor, although that is not how it should be. But in the end, you know which buttons to press in order to get that thing done. So then the big question is, okay, now for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I did what I was expected to do. But in the process, I've unlearned who I am and what I truly want and what I'm capable of. Can I still do that? So thank you for supporting people on that journey. I think it's so, so important, and for leading the way, because you are, you've changed during the time we've worked together. I mean, you were always high energy and you were always bubbly and you were always expressive. And I have the feeling that you just channeled your inner joyful, if I want to put it that way, in the most positive way. So joyful as something that we all should strive for a lot over the last month that we worked together. So let's move a few months back. Why did you initially approach us? Like, what was the challenge that you were facing back then?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. And if I can go back even further, because I thought of when I was a PhD student and people knew me for being this bubbly, crazy person who dances on tables at parties, and, talk about personal branding. Like you helped me a lot with really nailing down my personal brand. But back then when I was young, I didn't understand that was my brand. Like my brand was like, oh, Amani, the happy, bubbly dancer who just likes to have fun. But there was more to me than that. There are more layers, right? And I had already read your book before joining the program, and I had already been following you for an entire year on LinkedIn. Ooh. Yeah, to really understand what is this personal branding and how can I work on my personal brand. And just this year where you were sharing all this amazing free content literally gave me so much clarity, and I was able to implement that. So I thought, oh my God, if the free content is this amazing, like imagine what the coaching will be like. Really, like, yeah. So that's why I decided, let's go all in. And for me, personal branding I mean, I'm even teaching this to scientists today because I know how important it is for our careers. For me, it equals personal growth.
Yep, for sure. Same here. Same definition.
It's like showing up as you, like emphasize, like 10 times, like magnified, woo, this is me,
Yeah.
The more we can do that, the more, first of all, we're liberated. We don't have to worry so much about how other people think about us, feel about us. And then we're able to help other people by sharing that story and message that we have.
Yeah, and encouraging them, or I know it might sound a little bit odd, but this is what it often is, giving them permission to do the same. Because, hey, if she can do that, and if he does it, why the hell wouldn't I do it? Like, what's my lame excuse? What's my fear? What's the BS story that I tell myself? Well, maybe I can do that as well. And this is what I love about the tribe and the people that work together. A friend of mine recently said that we are light fighters. I was like, what do I mean? Like light, like like Star Wars? And she said, yeah, kind of. If you think about light versus darkness, I was like, this is actually what we do. We spread more happiness, more joy. There you go, light.
Totally.
Yeah. Right? So it was like, yeah, okay, cool. We're light fighters, light warriors. I like it. All right, but let's move back to LinkedIn. Can you remember your first milestone or your first, let's say, moment when you felt, aha, this is how it works once we started working together?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people who are starting their business can probably relate to what I'm going to share now. This idea of, I can do everything on my own and I know it best and I'm the expert and I don't need anybody else. Yeah. And also scientists can relate to this probably because they think they can solve all their problems on their own, right? So I had reached a point when I joined your program, like I was doing everything. I was doing the sales, the marketing, the social media, the coaching, the training, creating the online courses, like the workshop, like you name it. And I know, having watched your free content, that you said, build a team, get people to help you, delegate. You don't need to be the know-it-all, do it all. And when I joined your program, that was really the first milestone. It was like, okay, Amani, make it happen. So I hired my first team member, like my virtual assistant, and I love her. She's amazing. Nice. And that was a life changer, really a life changer. And so that was also helped me grow, not just professionally, like my business grew a lot thanks to having another team member, but also personally, because now I have space to breathe. I have space to recover. I have space to be creative versus just like hustling and doing.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah. Good. I'm so happy that you did that. I remember how excited you were. It's like, yeah, I hired somebody. Yes. Yeah, it's these things that make a difference. So once again, thanks for sharing that, because not everybody is willing to openly talk about it, because it's a little bit of like stupid old me. It's like, no. Learn from it. Thank your old self. Forgive yourself. Move on. This is growth. And again, you're living it. So you're living what you're preaching. Also, I remember there was a funny story around LinkedIn Live. At a certain stage, you got access to LinkedIn Live. And usually, that's at least what I know, or what I let's say observe exactly over the last years, is that people are usually scared of video. But when we talk about LinkedIn Live, this is the queen discipline of videos. People freak that out. Tell us the story about your LinkedIn Live, first LinkedIn Live, and how you've mastered it. Maybe even a lesson learned for everybody who is about to go live.
That is so funny, because just yesterday I was doing a group coaching session and we were talking about that, like going live on Facebook or being visible on social media. And then I was telling them my first time going live on Facebook in 2017. And I was terrified. I was literally having the experience of thinking my heart is going to stop like any moment, live in front of people, like I'm going to die. But I survived. But I even ended up crying during that first Facebook Live. So I got used to doing Facebook Lives as a private person. Why? Because I wanted to get over this fear of being judged and criticized by people. But then as soon as I got the LinkedIn Live, and I told you about this, I'm like, Natalia, I got the LinkedIn Live. But I just kept like procrastinating. No, I'm not ready to go live. No. This is LinkedIn. It's different. It's not Facebook. No. This is like professional. This is professional. Like I cannot do crazy stuff on LinkedIn. I have to be serious. And I was like, Amani, what's up with you? Like you're running the same bullshit you used to do back then, right? Like you're repeating that. What? I thought you grew. Come on, girl, get that. So
yeah.
So I had a session with you, and literally every time I have a session with you and our group of amazing, inspiring entrepreneurs, I just get this like boost, and I like go. Okay, tomorrow you're going live.
Boom, done.
So I went live. I didn't really have much time to prepare. I just decided the day before I announced it. And then like I had this background that I wasn't happy with. Like I got this yellow sheet, right? To fix.
Yeah, exactly.
Live up to my colors or brand. And then it was all wrinkly and I don't have an iron. And I was like, oh, am I really going to go live with this wrinkly background? And then I heard myself say what I always say, Amani, you're going to take imperfect action. Yeah. You have a message to share. Who cares about the wrinkly background? So
exactly. Good.
Yeah. So if you guys have LinkedIn Live, just go, do it.
Lovely. Amazing. And I remember you had nice pictures when we started but you went through a rebranding while we worked together with a professional photo shoot. Would you mind sharing the story behind that as well? The emotions that you went through, the lessons learned that you had? Because I know so many individuals who say, yeah, I know it, but they just don't implement it. And I think they're literally, because of that, they're letting money, like there's money on the street and they're too lazy to pick it up. I do believe that do it once, get your branding guidelines done, invest in a professional photo shoot, because it is a totally different first impression, especially when you want to charge high-end prices. You just can't give me these blurry or 3-year-old pictures that are like, nice, but enough about me, your perspective on this.
It's a total game changer. I mean, as soon as I launched my new photos and brand on social media, and especially LinkedIn, like the quality of people who were approaching me immediately changed. Right?
Yeah.
Like serious people who really want to do the work. And the other thing I want to share is it's so valuable to have clarity on your branding before you do a photo shoot, because I knew what my message is. My brand is about who am I? What's my message? What is that feeling I want people to have when they see me on photo? And that's what made the whole photo shoot so much fun, because I could actually express myself. I could be myself. We were even dancing and singing and jumping on a trampoline. We were jumping on a trampoline. Like my photographer, she was like, okay, Amani, let's do this. Let's do that. And then I was sweating and the whole makeup got ruined. She's like, okay, don't worry about that. We want your energy to radiate. And she told me that was probably one of the most fun photo shoots for her. So I think it's all about really knowing who you are. And that's really what the personal branding work with you helped me as well.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks for sharing that. I think that could inspire other people to, again, channel their joyful inner child, their authenticity, their inner unicorn, whatever you call that voice that is dying to express itself. But because we're on a professional platform, again, whatever that means, people just, it's like, yeah, I park it there. It's like, no, you don't park it, you express it. Okay, then let's shift gears towards lead generation. Did you generate any kind of leads, or maybe even get a client or two during the period when we worked together?
Did I? Wait, I need the double horns for this one. Yes. And I'm going to be very transparent here. I didn't implement everything. Okay. I was not the most active student, but despite not having implemented yet, like all the strategies that you shared with me in the course and in the sessions, I doubled my income. You know what I would do, what I would bring in 4 months, I brought it in 2 months. So in a shorter time, and I doubled it. I literally doubled it. And not only that, but you know, what I was saying earlier is like the quality of people I'm working with now is like outstanding. It's like the people who really want to do the work, who are really, the reason why I work with scientists, I want scientists to go out there and make an impact. And those are the people now who are joining my program. Before I would have the people who like, Amani, I need a job. I'm desperate.
I take anything.
Yeah, just give me a job. And I'm like, and of course I want to help everybody, no discrimination. But the quality of people, that is so valuable beyond just, you know, the finance. The finance is amazing. Yes, I've been able to buy lots of nice things and hire a team member thanks to that growth, you know.
So you increased your prices, you got more clarity, and I remember we also had a long session about sales calls. Would you like to share your insights on that? So maybe for everybody who doesn't know super clearly what I do, our focus is LinkedIn marketing, LinkedIn content marketing. We talk about social selling. And although I'm not a sales expert, I have learned so much about the conversations that we have with potential clients. And this is also a factor that we work on during our LinkedIn group coaching. And I think for you particularly, this part just changed everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, it helped. And although I've done sales training before, I've been selling my program for like 3 years now, but getting your perspective based on your experience, like, you know, made that little tweak, you know, like how you get this expert and he just like does a little bit of like, ding, ding. Okay, that was the tweak that was missing. And I'm like, boom.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, right. Right. You know, sometimes you don't see what you don't see if you're not like from that outside perspective. So it was really just focusing more and being present more in these conversations to really understand what is this person's problem. Because many times, you know, like my thoughts would take me like, oh, I need to share this information and I need to share that and I need to explain what we do in the program and then it becomes all about, you know, me and my service and my product and trying to convince them that this is so amazing. So I was reminded, thanks to your coaching, like, no, you don't need to convince them. It's amazing. Understand what's their problem. And when you address that and there's a match, voila, that's it.
Take it from there. Again, human to human. Put the salesiness and this is what I should do in a sales call aside and buy from me because I'm the best. But really listen, understand, and make sure that the other person really has a good reason and understands what they want and how they want to grow. And especially we as scientists, we have learned, or the majority of us, to ask good questions. And this is what the sales conversations are about. Listening, asking good questions, and showing that you care and really caring. Like, don't put on a show, but care. But this is the foundation of the people that I work with. Like our tribe, you know, Amani, we're very picky. We're like, you not sure. You maybe you, yes, I want you. You come here. So the people in our tribe, they all are experts in what they do. Plus, they do give up. They care. And these are the two major criteria that we have. Plus, we want to have fun. Are you funny? And when people are that, of course, I'm super, super happy and willing to share everything that I know, not only about social selling and content marketing and LinkedIn, but also about how to get that deal done. So that's awesome. Very happy about that. What else is interesting? Sure. Sorry.
Because I want to take that lesson and expand it to more people, because some people might say, I don't do sales and I don't do this and I don't need sales. And I just want you to think of sales equals helping. Sales equals helping people. So whatever your job is, whatever your business is about, it should ideally be about helping people. So the lesson I just shared with you applies for everybody.
100%.
I hope you take that. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. Also, what interests me is, did you somehow benefit from the tribe, or what are your thoughts on the tribe?
Absolutely. I love the tribe. I mean, I was just getting a message just before our call, like, how is the videos going? And what's like, we're such nerds, you know, when it comes to engagement. How's the engagement with the videos? Is that leading to leads? What's working best? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And,
wonderful.
You know, I love this quote by Jim Rohn, where he says, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And this is so true, because when you surround yourself with people like the Think Natalia Tribe, like people who are like go-getters, who want to make a difference, not just make money. Yeah, of course, we're all entrepreneurs and we want to build our businesses, but we want to make a difference by building those businesses. It keeps me on my tippy toes, like when you're surrounded by people who are like, wow, look at that person, look at that, oh my God, they're doing such amazing stuff. Yes. Versus, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, because then you're in the wrong room. That's what Lisa Nichols, my former coach, always said. You're in the wrong room if you're the smartest person. You want to be the dumbest person.
I mean, this is how you grow. This is how you learn. This is for a lot of egos that might not be nice, but growth is outside of the comfort zone. We know this. So nice.
So that being surrounded by smart, driven people, and the accountability, because when you see them posting, you see them growing, you see them doing amazing stuff, it would push me to also go and take more action.
Okay. Let me start the sentence again. We've talked about many small and big examples, success stories, things that you've changed. Was the biggest transformation or the thing that you're most proud of amongst them? Or is there another aspect that you've changed when it comes to your content, to your authenticity, to your sales, to your whatever? Was there something that we didn't touch upon, or something that is really close to your heart that you still want to share?
So I shared this with you in our private coaching session, and I'm not going to share the story just yet. But I shared a personal family story in our coaching session. And it's one of those things that shows that we all have, these weaknesses or things that have maybe happened to us that we might feel shame around it, right? And I recently posted something in a private community separate from our community, also around a topic that I have a little bit of shame around, but I just went out and I shared it. So for me, it's not just one thing, but it's like this constant growth, and being in this tribe with you and when people who are doing it is just helping me go further and further and further, not to stop, because it's easy to make progress and then you retract back into your shell. You're like, oh, it's safe here. I shared enough right now. No, I don't want to show more. Oh no, what people will judge me. Oh my God, what will they say if they know this about me and my family and my background? So I'm in that momentum where I'm like, that's it. I'm ready to just keep sharing and sharing and sharing, and let people judge if they judge, let people criticize if they criticize. But this is me, and I'm going to stand for that.
And inspire people through your story, because I would argue the flip side. If you share that, if you talk about that, you can inspire, you can empower, you can give permission. You, as you said, growth, potential. You're just not stopping. You go out there, express yourself, give your best to be a little bit better every day, while fully knowing that potential is infinite. So you're kind of never ever going to reach it. And still you're like, let's do this and try this like this. Yeah. And I believe the world needs more people like that, especially nowadays. So thank you for doing the work. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if I can share a quote that I read just yesterday from Brene Brown that is related to this message, and I will one day share the story. First, I need to get my family on board because they're involved. I cannot go like, I'm going to tell the story. I'm like, what's this LinkedIn interview? You telling our deepest, darkest secret? No, anyway. But the quote from Brene Brown that I hope people will be as inspired as I was when it comes to showing up, as ourselves. So the root of the word courage is core, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage had a very different definition than it does today. Courage originally meant to speak one's mind by telling one's heart. Over time, this definition has changed. And today, courage is more synonymous with being heroic. Heroic is important, and we certainly need heroes. But I think we've lost touch with the idea that speaking honestly and openly about who we are, about what we're feeling, and about our experiences, whether they're good or bad, is the definition of courage. Heroics is often about putting our life on the line. Ordinary courage is about putting our vulnerability on the line. In today's world, exactly what you just said, that's pretty extraordinary.
Absolutely. Beautiful quote. Thank you so much for sharing it. It also incredibly fits well into what was it? It was an interview between Gabor Mate and Tim Ferriss that I listened to yesterday. So it was about trauma and addiction and authenticity. And in the end, the core message was that as a kid, we need a specific attachment because we need it for survival. But very quickly we realized that there are certain things, and when we do them, people don't like us. And maybe we don't get the attention, we don't get the love. So we sacrifice our authenticity because of our need for attachment. And what happens is we do that and do that and do that and do that. And along the line, as we started this conversation, lose touch to ourselves, totally give up our authenticity. And then we're 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 and think, who the F am I? Why am I here? And why does everything feel so terrible and difficult? And I even don't know who the person is who stares at me at the mirror. Just want to punch the mirror. And I feel low on energy, taking that wish back, universe, and just acting now. So yeah, authenticity, true core, listening to your heart, sharing the message. Fully agree.
So if I can share one final message, and maybe you're going to ask me this question, but if you guys are like on the fence and thinking, should I work with Dr. Nat? I don't know. There are so many LinkedIn coaches out there who's like, oh, build your personal brand, I can tell you, for me, it's all about authenticity. And that's what I chose. That's why I chose you. From the first day I saw your video, I'm like, wow, this woman is like speaking from her heart. Like you truly care about what you're doing, you and your team. And this is what also really kept me going, because I'm like, oh, they care so much about my success. I cannot be lazy. Like, Maya.
That's true.
Maya checks in on me every week. Amani, how's it going? Yeah, Maya. Yeah, I'm doing the work.
Just the accountability check-in works. And without my team, I wouldn't be able to support you so much. So yeah, thank you for saying yes to the accountability. And again, thank you for doing the work. Amazing. One last question. Who should connect with you on LinkedIn, or what kind of connections would make you extra happy?
Anybody who resonates with the messages we just shared today. But if there's somebody who's really craving more in their careers and life, like Les Brown, he says, you got to be hungry. So if you're one of those people who's like hungry, like you're hungry for more, you don't just want a job, like you want a freaking amazing career that makes a difference, then reach out to me, especially if you're a scientist, because for me, scientists, I want to help them use their scientific expertise to go out there and freaking do some awesome shit, That's why.
Love it. And LinkedIn is your primary platform, or can people also find you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube? How do they reach out?
I'm like in my 40s. I don't know all of these other new and ultra social media. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm starting to feel old because there's so many new social media. I'm like, what? What's that? Never heard of that. So I would say LinkedIn is my prior place. Then there is Instagram and Facebook. And you can also find some videos on YouTube, but definitely LinkedIn is my home base.
Cool. I'll make sure I tag you or link to your page. And once again, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to work with you. Love your energy. Love your mission. It was incredible to see you grow. And I can't wait to see you continue, like skyrocketing like up there, and see where you will be in a year and 2 years and 5 years, whatever. And also to meet you in person one day. If you're in Dubai or if I'm in Spain, I might reach out. Exactly. And until then, we keep in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.